Your Majesties, members, Lord Advocate, local heroes, all of our distinguished guests, welcome to the Scottish Parliament. Falchigu Parliamich na Halapa. Thank you all for joining us to mark our 25th anniversary as we reflect on what has been achieved and we look to the years ahead. It is my pleasure to welcome Your Majesties today. It's hard to believe that it was indeed 25 years ago that the late Queen declared the Parliament open. Your Majesty, you were there that day and witnessed the excitement and aspirations of the people of Scotland in their reconvened Parliament. Your presence here today, as we mark this significant milestone, demonstrates your continuing commitment. We are grateful for the encouragement and counsel that we have received over these 25 years from the late Queen and from you. 25 years ago, this corner of the Canning Gate looked markedly different. Your Majesties, the view from your front windows has certainly changed, and I hope that you find your relatively newish neighbours agreeable. We're gathered today in our iconic building, which is now itself 20 years old, and over those years, Holyrood has become a focal point for Scottish public life and debate. A symbol of openness, accessibility and transparency in our democracy. The backdrop to significant moments in our national life. A place for engagement and protest. And I speak for all my colleagues when I say that being elected to this Parliament is a great honour that is never taken for granted. We are privileged to represent the people of Scotland as we take part in debates and discussions about how we do things and about how we can do them better for those who have voted for us and put their faith in us. The Parliament, the result of the democratic decision in 1997 of the people of Scotland, has become firmly embedded in our democracy and public life. And we're joined today by many young people from across Scotland who have grown up with the Parliament as part of their everyday lives. For them, this institution has been a constant. They may have visited with their schools. Since 1999, over 6,000 school groups have been warmly welcomed to Parliament. And they put their questions to their MSPs, experiencing democratic engagement firsthand. And I'm delighted that this event recognises the commitment, the ongoing commitment of our local heroes, people who make such a positive difference to their communities, the length and breadth of the country. Members have nominated you to honour the role that you play in meeting the needs of others. And I express our collective gratitude to you and the countless others who work alongside you. On this notable anniversary, I am honoured to welcome 4 of my predecessor presiding officers. And as one, we remember fondly our colleague, the late Sir Alex Ferguson. And while we have some common experience, we recognise that each of the 6 sessions of the Parliament has had a different character. It's brought its own particular debates, its own learning, its own challenges. And that is as it should be. Democracy and devolution will continue to develop as the experience, needs and aspirations of the people and the nation we serve change. And while the Parliament has, in 25 short years, become embedded in our democracy, we remain one of the youngest parliaments in the world. We look to and learn from others, and we continue to evolve the structures that shape our parliamentary week. And today I am pleased to welcome speakers and representatives from some very old parliaments representing democratic institutions across the British Isles. We cherish engagements with other parliaments and an outward-looking exchange of ideas. Last year alone, we welcomed over 80 delegations from other parliaments around the world. So the needs of our constituents may change, and the way they engage with politics has certainly changed. Technology has changed how we work here in Holyrood. Social media enables more folk to be involved in Scotland's democratic process. But meeting face to face is crucial, though. And as a part of this anniversary year, I'm visiting all regions of Scotland with local members to reach people who may not be able to come here and to learn what they think of their Parliament and what we can do better. This session of the Scottish Parliament is the most diverse and representative ever returned. That is welcome, but such progress cannot be taken for granted. It takes continuous effort, and there is still much to do there's still much for all of us to do until we can look across this chamber and see Scotland reflected back in all its diversity. We have much to reflect on and to celebrate. And as we move into the next quarter century and beyond, we will continue to grow as parliamentarians as well as politicians, to debate in good faith, and where we might disagree wholeheartedly, to do so with respect for one another, to optimise scrutiny to best enable Parliament to hold government to account, to strive to best represent all who call Scotland home. This is our common purpose. Thank you. Your Majesty, I now invite you to address the Scottish Parliament.
Presiding Officer, First Minister, members of the Scottish Parliament, ladies and gentlemen. The Queen and I are so very pleased to be able to join you today in marking the 25th anniversary of the Scottish Parliament. This Parliament opened on the first day of July 1999, on the cusp of a new millennium. It marked a new dawn for Scotland, one filled with anticipation, optimism and hope. Alongside the late Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh, I listened in the Palace of Holyrood House that day with great interest as the then First Minister spoke of a new voice, of new dreams, of a new and renewed Scotland. It was an extraordinary occasion for all manner of reasons, not least the fact that it came almost 300 years after the Act of Union of the Westminster and Scottish Parliaments on the 1st of May 1707. It was a landmark in a long, rich and complex story which we have shared over many centuries. For those present on that day 25 years ago, the new Parliament was a great and perhaps even a somewhat daunting prospect. The hopes of the thousands that lined the streets of Edinburgh and the great responsibility that accompanied them rested upon the shoulders of each newly elected member, 13 of whom still give such dedicated service today. From that day until this, through its work over a quarter of a century, this place has not just thrived, but in doing so, has borne witness to the enduring relationship between the Parliament, the Crown and the people of Scotland. The mace, which is placed before us, was a gift from my late mother on that day 25 years ago. On it are engraved the qualities to which we all aspire and that represent the very foundations of the relationship we share: wisdom, justice, compassion, integrity. In those intervening years, much has changed in our world, but those most Scottish of values have remained steadfast. We are often told that we live in an era of polarization and division. If that is so, then it is perhaps even more important, not less, that in the vital areas of representation, of political debate, of policy making and of discourse, these values, together with hope, civility and generosity of spirit are never far from the heart of even the most difficult of issues. It seems to me that such an approach is why this Parliament has grown in its experience, in its ability to touch and to improve the lives of so many individuals and communities throughout this great land. These values and this approach have been championed consistently by the 6 presiding officers who have served their country faithfully and diligently. We are all, at the end of each day, united by our love of Scotland, because of its natural beauty, of course, but also because of its strength of character, based as it is on the extraordinary diversity of its peoples, whose range of ideas, skills, energy, passions, and frequently deeply held beliefs never cease to inspire me. From the Central Belt to the North Highlands, across the islands, in Ayrshire, in the borders, the cities, towns and villages, all the coastal communities, who, I wonder, could not fail to be moved by this complex Caledonian kaleidoscope. Speaking from a personal perspective, Scotland has always had a uniquely special place in the hearts of my family and myself. My beloved grandmother was proudly Scottish. My late mother especially treasured the time spent at Balmoral, and it was there, in the most beloved of places, where she chose to spend her final days. Back in July 1999, we heard Ian Crichton Smith's poem, The Beginning of a New Song. Let it be true to itself and to its origins, inventive, original, philosophical. Its institutions mirror its beauty. Then, without shame, we can esteem ourselves. That day was a turning point. Today is an important milestone. As we look ahead to the next quarter of a century and beyond, there remains much more to be done. Scotland, for the United Kingdom, and equally in addressing the challenges we all share as inhabitants of a planet whose climate is changing dangerously and whose biodiversity is being seriously depleted. Let this moment, therefore, be the beginning of the next chapter. The achievement of the past and the commitment shown in the present give us the soundest basis for confidence in the future. Presiding Officer, First Minister, members of the Scottish Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, I can only offer my most heartfelt appreciation of the public service you embody, together with every possible good wish on this special occasion and for the years to come.